I'll start off by saying this. Matthew Stafford, with that one drop pick, he almost pulled a Stafford, but then somehow, some way, people keep on saying that the triple crown for Cooper Kupp. It's not just triple, it's 4. He got yak, touchdowns, receptions, and receiving yards. And somehow, for some strange reason, this man just keeps getting open.
He's amazing.
It's just, I don't understand. Like, how do you keep letting him get open?
I mean,
he played design.
He can't just player. At that point. You just got to be a great player. I mean, this is something that I know, like Wes Welker and Jordy Nelson were very good at doing. Just finding holes in the defense.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like it's having high football IQ, knowing what the defense is, almost being a quarterback at the receiver position, and knowing exactly to place yourself within the defense.
That freedom.
I was about to say something really bad, but didn't realize what the situation was.
Oh, no. So let's ignore that. But I mean, they were down 10. It seemed like, this is going to be another Sean McVay loss to Kyle Shanahan. Yep. But I mean, he rallied the truth. And the thing I like about, we're going to bring up Joe Burrow later on. People talk about how Joe Burrow played to no pulse. Matthew Stafford almost threw the game away, and then on the next play, was it second down or third? He got a first down past was it OBJ?
It was OBJ, yep.
Yeah.
I've seen it too many times.
Yeah, so
too many times.
I mean, like I said, it's exactly what the Lions have done, him being in Detroit all these years. Of having to bring his team back, of having to remain calm. Yep. We finally saw be worth something. No disrespect.
Yeah.
That's mediation. No disrespect.
That's just what happens. I mean, like in Detroit, Stafford wasn't perfect, but it was clear that it definitely was not Stafford that was holding that team back.
100%.
Like,
you got to look at the circumstance. I mean, when you have to play hero ball, when you have no choice, you have to bomb it to a specific player because nobody else on the team is just good enough.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to lean on. Sometimes you just, sometimes they kick in. Sometimes you turn to Carson Wentz.
Hey, I gotta do what I gotta do.
I mean, sometimes because again, the thing was with Carson. Oh man, no, we're not gonna talk about Carson.
We ain't gonna talk about
Matthew Stafford. Like I said, he's always had that clutch gene, which was I forgot who was it. Skip who said it. Someone said Matthew Stafford isn't clutch. Just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It was
more like it was.
Yeah, that. Oh god, he is. Like I said, outside of like Brady, outside of. Even more than Rodgers. I would say Stafford's more clutch than Rodgers, if I'm being honest.
He's had to be for sure.
Yeah. And then, like I said, we finally saw it be worth something. And then also, I mean, similar thing with OBJ. We're talking about, the fucking OBJ there somewhere meme for like years now. Yeah. I mean, he finally makes the playoffs, and he finally now has a meaningful impact. I think he had over 100 yards. Obviously, Cooper Kupp was still the star, but
I think he had like 119. But he had a great third down catch on that flash drive. Like that catch was really tough to make, and he made that catch.
Yeah, he took a fucking shot.
Yep.
Still held on to it. I think we're talking about the same play. Yeah, I mean, but. Like I said, the Rams came back. The Rams, I mean, they've really shown themselves. Damn, they're just a really complete team. Like there's no other way to say it. They're just a O-line, receivers, running back, quarterback, like offense, and then they're a defensive team too.
Defensive, because they have guys at every level. I mean, obviously there's still holes defensively, but I think the star power makes up for the holes.
The only hole they really have is at safety, and it's not even that bad. They have average safety. It's not like they're terrible.
The thing is, when you got guys like Von Miller coming off the edge, Aaron Donald coming from wherever they put him, and then you can't just toss it because you still got Jalen Ramsey out there somewhere.
It's like what Kefru said about the Bucs. I mean, obviously, I would still say the Rams secondary this year is better than the Bucs last year, but when you do have such a when you get so much wins up front in the trenches, it really helps your secondary. I think they have like the Rams D-line has like the highest win rate in the NFL.
That's what I'm telling you, bro. That's what I saw all 2020 with the Steelers. I mean, I'm not saying our secondary was like the Bucs secondary, but what I'm saying is when they went 13-3 and whatchamacallit, they had that crazy ass defense. And I'm sitting here. I'm sitting in the back of my head. I'm like, yeah, I expected us to beat the Browns. You know, obviously, I did expect to beat the Browns in the playoffs. But the one weakness I could genuinely tell you that team had was, the offense wasn't all that. The offense was somehow that offense put up enough points to win some games. I don't understand how. Yeah. And B, the secondary, bro. Like outside of Joe Hayden and whatchamacallit, Mike Hilton. We had Mike. I mean, like Steven Nelson was good for us, but Steven Nelson he's bounced around the league for a reason. Like he's either really, really up or he's really, really down.
Do y'all know that the Steelers signed Joe Schobert?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
They traded for him.
You're right. They
still didn't get. You try to pull off the joke and you still couldn't get it right.
Whatever.
But like, what I saw with that Bucs team was the same thing I saw with the Steelers. You know, T.J. Watt. But listen, I was telling people this. I don't think people realized how close that team was to having 4 guys having 10+ sacks. You had T.J., Bud, Cam, and Tua. If you have 4 guys that have equal 40 sacks, along with other sacks, your secondary is definitely going to look a whole lot better than it should. And it showed in that playoff game. You so happened we didn't get pressure on Baker Mayfield. That man was dotting us up. And you saw what happened to that Bucs defense when they didn't get pressure on Stafford. He was dotting their ass up. Yeah. Like, I understand, they had whatchamacallit, they had injuries in the secondary this year, but just go ahead and go look back at the playoffs last year when they won the Super Bowl. Like, when they didn't get pressure on Aaron Rodgers do. Look what Taylor Heineke did to them. Look what he did to them, you know? Damn. He made them look stupid at times. Yeah. It's like that whole Buccaneers defense. Only thing I'll give them is really the D-line and the linebackers, bro. That secondary was just it's not built to last like a long game. They can't do it. They're not good enough. They're not a good secondary, and a lot of people didn't see that. They were like, "Oh, the Buccaneers defense is going to be this and that." I'm like, it's going to happen if they don't get pressure. That's what happens. Matthew Stafford is going to find Cooper Kupp somehow getting open in the last play of the damn game. Like, how did that? Like, I still didn't understand how that happened. Like, how did he get that open?
I don't know. Like I said, I think they were running man that play, and then, like you said, I think it was Antoine Winfield on him. I don't know why they're running. I think they were blitzing that play, which is really.
I mean, like at that point in time, bro. Now hold on, let's shift it over to the Bucs though. Y'all can't tell me y'all ain't think that shit was rigged in the fourth quarter when they started coming back, bro.
Oh, we all saying it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it definitely looked rigged. Yeah.
That's like I just couldn't believe they were coming back, bro. I was like, Tom Brady's not about to do it again. There's no way.
In the worst way possible, too. Just
we was screaming the whole
mistakes.
Like they looked dead in the water, and then Cam Akers fumbles. Cooper fumbled. I was really surprised when Cooper Kupp fumbled. That was crazy.
But to bring it back to the conference championship game, like I said, the Rams are down 10. And like I said, they remain poised. And then Jimmy Garoppolo, like we saw, like on full display, why he's not that guy. He's just not. Yeah. He's not a franchise quarterback. Like I always bring up how he's like an average guy, but for some reason he just wins a lot. This right here just shows his limitations. He's not in the same company as, any of the young guns we're talking about in the AFC or, even like Matthew Stafford, for example. He's just limited. There's just things he can't do. you can't expect Jimmy Garoppolo to play well. In fact, I saw this stat. I can't remember the exact details, but if you look at his 2 playoff losses, right, this game and the Super Bowl to the Chiefs, and then compare it to his 4 wins, he actually has better numbers in the losses. And the problem is that's because they're depending on him. And you can't depend on a Jimmy Garoppolo. It's great when you could run the ball for 150 plus yards, right? And you don't need Jimmy Garoppolo to do anything but game manage, but when you become more dependent on him, you're less likely to win because he's just not that good. So, like, I mean, on the last drive, I don't blame him too much for throwing that pass behind him because there was nothing there. And like I said, I already knew what Jimmy Garoppolo was, and if he didn't do that, he would have gotten sacked. It would have been like 4th and 20 something. So I don't blame him too much, but just that entire 4th quarter, like, Jimmy Garoppolo, bro, you got to make a play. Which is why I really did think that Tom Brady was going to consider going there. But I mean, that's another big thing that happened, right? Tom Brady didn't fake retire, but there was like a rumor out that wasn't true. And then a couple of days later, earlier today, he officially announced his retirement.
We'll get to that once we're done with the championship.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. All right, well, so is that all we got to say on the NFC game? Sip, you got anything? Or Jordan?
About the NFC game?
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo's garbage. That's
yeah?
I can't say this. Jimmy Garoppolo, and this is more so the 49ers as a whole. Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers, they have, I'm not going to say luck, but that team is gritty. Like, they have grit, you know?
For sure.
They have a lot of grit. Now, I mean, like, Jimmy Garoppolo is fucking Jimmy G, but when he's all smiles, that man, he'll take a couple shots. He'll fit one right in the middle for George Kittle. He'll take a shot. Like, they're not punked. They're not punked.
Definitely. I mean, that's why they got this far, because of how gritty they are. I mean, like, they were a wild card team, and then here they were up 10 points in the conference championship game. Like they didn't win their division.
And probably should have won the game, to be honest.
Yeah, they should have won the game.
Yeah. They had every right to win the game, but, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo.
But, I mean, he's an average quarterback. I'm not going to, like, shit on him. He's made the Super Bowl, and he's put his...
He's a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback.
And let's move on to the NFC.